and she lay in the cemetery. Watch that word cemetery in Greek. That word cemetery in Greek, watch the translation of it. It means this: a sleeping place. That's what cemetery means, translated in Greek, a sleeping place. So watch what John Stout says about a cemetery. John Stout says a cemetery, then, oh, okay. It is just a dormitory for the dead. Because they're sleeping. They are just awaiting the time that the same hand that laid them down is the same hand that's going to get them up. That's all we're waiting for. That's the reason why you rejoice. That the same hand that closed her eyes, the same hand that sealed her lips, the same hand that touched her body to remove that spirit, it's the same hand. Watch what Paul says: I would not have you ignorant concerning those that sleep. They will not prevent those of us who are still here. But Jesus Christ is going to descend with a great shout, with the shout of the archangel, and those that are dead. You don't have to say amen. I know I'm right. Those who are dead, they will come with him. And Sister Christine Knight, though her body may be in the Avila Cemetery, in the dormitory of the dead, she's going to be there she's just waiting. She's just waiting. That's all she's doing. She's just waiting. She's just waiting for that day when God says, it's over. It's over. And watch what's going to happen. Her spirit that's alive right now is alive right now. Don't let anybody tell you her spirit's not alive right now. Her spirit's around the heavenly throne right now. It's alive right now. And she's going to come down with Jesus Christ. And her body is coming out there. How? I don't know it. Don't ask me. It was written before I got here. But her body is coming out of that ground. That body that's in that ground is going to come back with that spirit that's been with the Lord. That's going to be her glorified body. She's going to turn me. She's going to turn me. And then she's going up to heaven. And in that glorified body, no more tears, no more sorrow, no more anguish, no more hurt, no more sickness. Oh! Because she's just sleeping till the Lord says, get up. I can rejoice because the Lord says, just lay here a little while. I got a little more work to do. Because when I get you up, I want Fred to get up. When I get you up, I want Lisa to get up. When I get you up, I want Carmen to get up. I want Adrian to get up. I want you to get up. You know your name. That's a Christine moment. And then she'd walk off. She'd wave you off in a minute, wouldn't she? I'm going to skip some of this and go on home. Baby, rejoice. Baby, rejoice with your loved one. I'm going to close on this. Here's the reason why Paul said this. He was talking to the believers at Thessalonica because there was a problem in Thessalonica. This past year, I saw it for myself. The Biblical Archaeology Society invited me to go on a study tour. And I went through Greece, and we started in Athens and went all the way up, and we ended in Thessalonica. I saw the prison that Paul was in. Ooh. But when we got to Thessalonica, they still have some of the old parts of Thessalonica from Paul. And they still have some of the cemeteries there, some of the sepulchres there from Paul. And there is an inscription. Here's the reason why Paul says this. There is an inscription over some of the cemeteries that say this. It's over the tombs for the heathens. It's over the tombs for those Greeks who were not Christians. For one who lived is dead, there is no resurrection. Paul comes back and writes to the church at Thessalonica, because he's answering the questions that's over those tombs, that every time those believers walk out there to that cemetery and they're seeing those words above those tombs of one who once lived is dead, there is no resurrection. Paul is picking up pen and saying to his believers, talking to those whom he loves, who love Jesus Christ, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. Don't you go out there and think there is no resurrection. And he takes them back to the tomb of Lazarus, where Jesus says, I am the resurrection and the life. Though he is dead, watch what he says, yet shall he live, which means though she's dead, she continues on to live. She never stopped living. Can you rejoice in that? She's in a place of no shadows. She's in a place of no shadows. In Ecuador, I stood on the equator. And what marveled me about the equator, it's so perfect with the longitude and latitude, that there is a time of day shift, and the sun is so perfect that at a certain time of day, there are no shadows. It's the most amazing thing to see. You look around, and there are no shadows of trees. There's no shadows that you stand in. There's no shadows because the sun is just so perfect how